Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, glad to have you here. Today we have another set of tournament battles. This time it is the Warriors of Chaos versus the Warriors of Chaos. You can see we are again looking from Phyllis's point of view. So he does have Kholek Sun Eater and his opponent does have a Chaos Lord on a zombie dragon. So we'll get straight into the army comps. You can see Phyllis does have some Chaos Warriors with great weapons over here. Some Chaos Trolls behind them, the unarmored version, and they are vetted up, probably giving them more leadership and more attack and defense stats, so a pretty good spend there. Chaos Sorcerer of Death on a horse. Looks like 2 Chaos Warriors with halberds, 2 Chaos Marauders with great weapons, then I think he has 3 Chaos Knights with lances, 2 Warhounds with poison, and of course Kholek himself. Over here leading this Chaos army is of course the Chaos Lord on the Zombie Dragon, and then a huge main line of Chaos Marauders. Behind them, a more elite line of Chaos Warriors with great weapons and some Halberdiers. Out on this flank, you can see he does have 2 Chaos Knights with lances and 2 Chaos Warhounds with poison. In the back, oh man, look at this. A forgotten Chaos Warrior with halberds, so that is a lot of money that is not going to be there for the initial engagement. And of course he does have that Chaos Sorcerer of Metal up in the air. So you can see he's coming out here to try and get some early spells off. Start that cooldown on those spells, get it going, and you can see he's going to drop a final transmutation on Kholek. And so he's at 1200 health, 12,000 health, and we'll see where he is after this drops. Nope. Is it not going to? Not going to drop? Ah, there it is. Okay, so 12,000. I wonder if he's even going to hit 11. Oh yeah, so just under 1,000 damage for an overcast spell. Man, that spell just still is not the best. But I think it's more useful for like clumps of heroes, like hero mobs would be very good with. You can see he's going to drop some Gehenna's Golden Hounds, and man, look at that dodge, splitting up his units, and these guys are going to really do nothing with that drop. You can see he has moved all of his Chaos Knights with Lances out to this side, hoping to overwhelm with superior numbers, dropping the Lord of Storm on the Forsaken, which will be a big threat to his Chaos Marauders out on each flank, and his Trolls. They'll do a decent amount of damage as well. So you can see his smaller elite front line is hoping to kind of get a contained engagement that can then be buffed by this Chaos Sorcerer with Death. And you can see he has Soul Blight and looks like Doom and Darkness. So over here you can see, nice job bringing these Halberdiers over here to support this engagement. You can see Kholek also coming over here, and the Chaos Lord ready to hop in as this main line engages. You can see a Soul Blight coming down, having a big effect on all of their stats. Really helping to just put these guys in the trash can here. That -8 melee attack, it's going to make them definitely lose to these Chaos Marauders. You can see the Sorcerer himself getting into combat. Over here you can see some Warhounds have engaged on each other as both teams kind of posture up on this side, trying to decide what engagement they want. And you can see going to get a nice charge on these Chaos Warhounds with poison. Definitely give the edge to these guys because they do have a 22 charge bonus, so that does definitely make a difference. And so here those Warhounds did get over here and stop these guys, so about half this unit is going to get a charge in. Definitely good for him. And you can see Kholek switching this back in the favor, and another final transmutation coming down. And these Chaos Knights with Lances are not going to like being this close to these halberds as this fight continues. We'll go check the other side, and you can see it's just a mosh pit. The yellow Chaos player seems to be winning this, I would say, just from my perspective. He does have a lot more money here with these Chaos Trolls in here and his Sorcerer, whereas the Sorcerer over here is, of course, supporting this Cav engagement. And so you can see over here this Zombie Dragon, or Chaos Dragon, is going to get in here and really just turn this fight in, I think, the red one's favor. You can see, nice job getting these Chaos Marauders into these Chaos Warriors with halberds. They will definitely pay for themselves against this unit. And you can see these guys trying to escape, but they just can't because of the speed of the Chaos Knights. And again, you can see Plague of Rust coming down here, so making this fight go even better for the Chaos Marauders. I like that support there. Because look at these guys, they have 30 armor left, so and they're even pulling away, so these Chaos Marauders who are faster are going to get a lot of free damage on these guys. You can see Nice Gehen's Golden Hounds is going to hurt these 2 units. And where did that Zombie Dragon go? You can see the Zombie Dragon kind of peeled off. I don't know where he's going, but we'll hop back over here, and these Chaos Marauders, great job bringing these guys around, getting a nice flanking charge. Soul Blight being dropped over here. Nice constant debuffing is really going to help. And great job with the micro on these trolls here. It's going to come back and just prevent these Chaos Warriors from getting that rear charge penalty. So another great way to use trolls here. But you can see that this Chaos Dragon is going to come over here and shift this very much in the Reds' favor, or at least start attempting to, because that is a very powerful unit that I'd like to see get down into combat as soon as possible. Nice Lord of the Storm here coming in, and you can see Kholek is just chunking out these Chaos Knights with lances who are terrified. But you can still see there's a decent amount of healthy units over here, and these Halberdiers are still coming in, so great job just getting out of there. You've dealt with a lot of their fast movers, so there's really nothing left to hold you down for these really slow Chaos Warriors with halberds. Over here you can see it is going in Yellow's favor. Red still does have those 2 Chaos Warriors with halberds over there, and this full health Zombie Dragon, so this still could go either way. You can see the Zombie Dragon just coming in here. Luckily the Trolls have not taken very much damage, so the regeneration will still be at maximum. Where's the other unit? Aligned. Oh yeah, they're both right there. So they're actually going to do pretty good if they are able to swarm this Chaos Lord. But they are pretty in danger of routing and losing models when fighting something that does like 600 something damage. Nice job with that Potion of Toughness coming down, mitigating a lot of the damage, but here comes that unit of Chaos Warriors with halberds. You can see over here they did catch the kind of last remaining units of cavalry. I think there's one more in this Chaos Sorcerer. And again, they're just still consistently running away from these halberds. They really have no other choice. There's a lot of money over here still that they want to try and catch. Nice Plague of Rust coming down just a little too late. Would have been nice to wait for that cast until there was a really decisive engagement. But you can see over here, these halberdiers are chasing this dragon around. Really great use of them. And you can see these trolls over here still doing a good amount of damage. And again, it's just more and more Soul Blights coming down. Really using his magic to support this engagement. And you can see that Chaos Warrior with halberds that was forgotten about earlier has come back, and it's going to be running straight into combat. Definitely could have helped on that flank battle, or even in here against those trolls. It could have done a lot of damage. Chaos Marauders with great weapons are coming in, and you can see the Cav are going to be outpacing these guys. Good job with these guys just not committing to that fight. The farther they got away from the battle, the even longer it would take, so they just decided to turn right around and come help. That's definitely what they want to do. And oh man, look at these Chaos Trolls. They're going to come in here and just smack these halberdiers in the back. It probably doesn't even matter that they're anti-large at this point, just because there's so much money here that these trolls will really do a lot of damage. You can see, nice job targeting this Chaos Sorcerer of Death, but probably it was a little too late. He's probably used a lot of his mana. It would have been good to try and eliminate him a little bit earlier. Avoid some of those Soul Blights, and you can see Doom and Darkness trying to break these guys, but their leadership is just pretty steady. Kholek coming in here might be able to break them, but you can see as Kholek does enter the fight, Doom and Darkness goes away. Lord of the Storm dropping over there, trying. That is just a really hard timing to get down. You can see these Chaos Knights going on a cheeky charge over here. Hopefully they don't stick around for those halberds. And you can see, finally, look at that Chaos Sorcerer of Death is being chased off the field as Kholek kind of finishes off this core set of units just in time to kind of turn around and deal with this incoming halberd force. You can see, nice target here, getting these guys, trying to keep them terror routed off the field. And you can see he's going to get a countercharge with these halberdiers, while Kholek himself and the cavalry tries to tie this guy down, but nice job getting him out of there. And you can see these guys, I think they were just pathed on these Chaos Knights, trying to get rid of them. Manticore is going to tie him down, and poison, I believe. Oh no, I think the hero variant does not have poison. So nice job using that fast Manticore, and you can see these Halberdiers are coming in as well. And again, Soul Blight being dropped, hurting these guys, dropping their armor to 84, dropping their leadership and their attack damage. So you can see really here, it's really a zombie dragon versus a couple units of halberds. And Kholek, you can see this Chaos Sorcerer of Death did come back, so again, got that extra Soul Blight in. And you can see Kholek is in here. And since that unit then forms around Kholek, it's going to allow all of these guys to get their charge bonus off because the Chaos Halberds are no longer braced. So definitely like that use of Kholek. And you can see the Chaos Dragon over here. Nice targeting. This is kind of the weak point in the Chaos line. And you can see he terror-routed all those units with that rear charge there. Looks like a Lord of the Storm is coming down over here. Gonna do a big old chunk of damage. Kill my frame rate there as I zoomed in. So you can see here these Chaos Trolls now against Halberds and all these large targets. It's not looking too good. That Zombie Dragon's still almost full health. These Chaos Knights with Lances might be able to take it out. But you can see these Chaos Trolls are starting to rout, and they're against a lot of anti-large damage here. So it all really depends on how this fight goes, how long the Trolls can last. You can see that Chaos Sorcerer of Metal getting very low. But again, look at these. All those Chaos Knights have just taken too much damage, and they are routing off the field. This Kholek one-on-one's a dragon. Now there's even more halberds in the fight. Yeah, this is not looking good. As you can see, these guys are going. They just broke. Now that's going to allow him to pull all his troops in here on Kholek. And Kholek's just not going to be able to chunk out that huge amount of health that Chaos Lord has. And he's going to rout off the field as well to army losses. So very close fight there. That Chaos Dragon really shifting that fight in Red's favor. So you can see here these Chaos Trolls got a lot of kills. These Chaos Knights with Lances probably those halberds in that cavalry engagement just gave too much damage to them early on, and they weren't able to probably really pay for themselves. They needed these guys in the more healthy in the late game to try and keep this Chaos Lord on the ground. You saw great plays by Vegeta with that dragon. Coming in, targeting the weak points, keeping it safe, not allowing Phillus to kind of just trap it and murder it. And really used its terror and that rear charge and that flying to his advantage. Yeah, so then we'll hop into the next one here. The second battle. And you can see Phillus has changed his army quite a bit. He's kept the trolls, he's vetted them up less. He's cut 2 of the knights with the lances. He has now Marauder horses with anti-armor throwing axes. He's got 3 units of halberds, 2 chaos warriors, and 4 Forsaken, seeing that huge Marauder build from Vegeta last game. So using these Forsaken to try and counter the Chaos Marauders. Again with the Chaos Sorcerer of Death, with Soul Blight and Doom and Darkness. And of course Kholek. I don't believe I don't believe Vegeta changed anything here. Potentially added this Forsaken, I didn't see it last game. But he's actually going to get all 3 Chaos Warriors with Halberds in from the very beginning, so definitely like that. But the main difference here is a lot less cavalry and a lot more infantry. And we'll see if he's able to do that. Use his halberds over here to force an engagement that is much better for him, and really just focus on this main line. You can see here, Hound's going to come down, going to hit these guys, do a decent amount of damage here. But it seems like it's going to not actually... It didn't actually kill any models, but it did a good amount of damage and just kind of disrupted this formation. It's not a very expensive spell either. So you're going to see as these guys just line up and kind of posture. And this is just like a very terrifying front line here for these Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Just those trolls are going to add a lot of armor-piercing damage. And you can see, because Vegeta has all his cav on one side, Phillus is able to move both his halberds over on the side. You can see, again, with that really tight front line, really trying to force an engagement where his just overcast Soul Blights can change how the fight ends up. And so you can see here, his just mass amount of halberds, and keeping those Chaos Knights in reserve is forcing Vegeta to be a little bit more aggressive, so he's going to have to come around here eventually. You can see, nice job clipping the wings here with that Chaos Lord. I should probably not be fast forwarding right now. And Kholek is going to come in here and try and punish this, and he's going to get some good damage down. Would like to have seen that charge and then just pull right through. And that's a great way to use Flying Lords. Don't let them get trapped, just pull them in and then pull them straight out. And with the mass of that zombie dragon, they're not really going to have a problem. You can see these Forsaken cutting through these Chaos Marauders, but these Chaos Warriors with great weapons are going to get in here and just double team that Forsaken. And you can see these halberds are double teaming this Chaos Troll. So definitely not, I probably would have pulled these guys out, hoped that he was microing elsewhere, and pulled those guys straight in to that battle. Over here you can see, nice job using these hounds. He managed to catch both of Phyllis's halberds with just warhounds. So that's really the best way to do that, because if Phillus had one of these halberds in this engagement, it would be far in his favor. But instead, this one Chaos Knight with lances is going to be fighting two over here. And nice job getting these guys through. Hopefully they'll be shooting into the back, but Phillus here knows that this can't happen, so he's going to actually just charge his Skirmisher Cav into Vegeta's. So definitely like that play. And you can see over here, this dragon is just getting isolated. Halberd's getting in there, and you can see he did pop Foe Seeker, and he's going to try and get out of there. Of course, these Chaos Trolls are routing, and look at that Soul Blight hitting like 5 units. So definitely nice targeting there. And you can see these Marauder Horsemen are not liking this fight, getting charged in the rear, getting orders, and you can see even some halberds are coming out here. So they're going to get taken off the field. And look, you can see the poison of the Warhounds is actually helping. And man, oh, look at this. See, probably not the best choice. It did a lot of damage to those warriors, but it also routed 2 of his poison Warhounds. So now he's going to be able to pull those guys away. Zombie Dragon did pull up into the air. I don't know if he used his potion yet. I don't think he did. But you can see Kholek just kind of stalking him around the battlefield. And nice job pulling out these trolls. Just like I said, wow, earlier. Pulled them out of that halberd engagement. Got them in against these Chaos Warriors. Just perfect placement there. And there's really nothing Vegeta can do about that except just damage his own troops by pulling out. So here you can see, again, whenever that Chaos Dragon lands, just punching it with the Chaos Sorcerer and Kholek, really trying to do any damage he can early. You can see now with these halberds in here, this fight is definitely going to be turning in Phyllis's favor. You can see the Chaos Sorcerer Mental trying to find a nice place to be, and again that Chaos Lord on the dragon is hopping up in the air. And now they're just kind of deciding what to do. Nice job pulling out the Cav and then charging them in the back. Oh man, just so perfect. It's going to really hasten the defeat of this side, and he's going to need that Cav if he's going to be keeping this Chaos Lord on the ground. You can see Plague of Rust coming down as the Chaos Sorcerer attacks as well. And with that Plague of Rust, Kholek should have very little armor. Yeah, 15, so almost all of that damage is going to be getting through to him. But you can see that these Chaos Trolls have definitely helped swing this fight in the Forsaken's favor. And you can see here, Vegeta is pulling out these Chaos Halberds to get them into this fight. And you can see over here, he's trying to pull out of this engagement, but with Cav on his tail, oh, I guess, yeah. He's going to let him pull out of that fight and just try and catch this Chaos Dragon out. But he's just able to get up out of that trap just a little too soon for the Chaos Knights to get there. But you can see Kholek over here is going to start putting a hurt on this guy. Luckily, he does have some halberds here, and so great job dodging those halberds with Kholek. As he continues to just stalk this dragon, you can see Vegeta again just looking for those weak points where he can get in, terror out, and then pull out again, but he is not letting him with Kholek. He's not letting him get away for free. And again, you can see these Chaos Knights Phalanxes did come back. Would love to see these Halberds pulled in here, and you can see he's going to do exactly that. You can see, oh yeah, the Chaos Dragon fell right on this flank, but you can see Kholek is going to get his big old charge bonus off, and do a decent amount of damage there. You can see this Chaos Dragon just trying to flee, trying to hit those corners, but again, Phillus just not letting him. So you can see there getting some nice rear attacks. And over here you can see this fight is swinging in Vegeta's favor, which is pretty good, and he has these Chaos Warriors coming around to try and help. But you can see these guys did get terrified by Kholek as that encouragement aura left. You can see, nice job finishing off these guys who are fleeing, and also nice job keeping these Horse Masters with the throwing axes chasing this guy. Oh man, and so this is just such a close battle. You can see this knight is routing. And again, you can see Vegeta coming straight for this weak point in the army. If he can get over here before all his troops rout, he might be able to switch this side, but you can see a lot of their stuff is shattering. Just a little too late. You can see that Chaos Sorcerer of Death shattering as well. So I believe he's going to come down here, try and swing this fight in his favor. And he should be able to take out Chaos Knights like with one hit or two. So, because they have very low model count. But you can see Kholek just again chasing him down, relentless, not letting him do what he needs to do to switch this in Vegeta's favor. So there you can see a 1-1 battle. So this next battle will decide who moves on. You can see these Forsaken did very well, limiting the cost effectiveness of these Chaos Marauders. Halberds also doing well, and you can see it really helped win what would have been a very clear, decisive victory for Vegeta if they just fought out on the flanks, cavalry on cavalry. But when you have less cavalry and you play defensive, you can still pull it out by just refusing to let these cav have the fight they want. You can see these Chaos Trolls, again, just big tanks in that front line. And that Chaos Sorcerer of Death with the constant Soul Blights really, really helping. So we'll hop into the third and final battle here with Phillus versus Vegeta. Chaos on Chaos mirror match. So you can see here Phillus's build is exactly the same, but Vegeta's is very, very different. Well, not very different, but you can see he has no more Marauders. He has 4 Chaos Warriors with great weapons, kind of potentially expecting that Forsaken pick and trying to make all those Forsaken near useless, which he will do because he has very little unarmored stuff. You can see he does have 2 Chaos Warriors with Halberds, and he also has 1 less cavalry, I believe, but just 2 here. Or I guess he had 2 in the last game, and 2 Warhounds with poison. He actually brought his own Chaos Trolls this time. He did bring some Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, some Aspiring Champions who are just crazy in this matchup. They do have Armor Sundering and have 100 weapon strength with their AoE attacks. And instead of a Zombie Dragon here, he has his Chaos Lord on the ground. No Filth Mace, but he does have Stand or Die, so really trying to go cost effective with his Lord. And you can see, look at him, he's moving for that forest. And so that'll be really helpful because it'll make the Chaos Trolls do far less damage, and it'll make Kholek do a lot less damage. So if he can just stay in there, he'll definitely have an advantage. But, you know, his 2 Chaos Knights with Lances, if they stay in there, they will be hurt as well. So I guess it's keep your infantry in there, but your large units out. Sadly, his Trolls will be as effective as Phillus's. But you can see he does have 2 and has spent money upgrading them. So you can see they're just going to posture up here. Lots of posturing as he gets settled in the forest. Potentially trying to bait out some ammo there. You can see a lot of this ammo that he's throwing at Kholek is not landing, which is definitely good. That was a pretty good one. You can see Phillus did go cheap, got to just the regular Marauder Horseman. So the non-armor piercing type. You can see there, not good to let him get caught by Kholek, so they put a lot of damage there. And you can see these forces coming out around the flanks, just like I said, trying to get those guys to fight outside of the forest. You can see here, Phillus doesn't care, he's just going to run straight in there. Again, dropping that extended effect Soul Blight. Really trying to debuff that main line. And we'll see how those Forsaken do here against all these armored troops. Because if we look, let's slow it down here. They do have 25 armor piercing damage, so not actually that poor armor piercing. Chaos Warriors with great weapons do have 32. Wow, so actually not that much less. You can see these Forsaken do have 90 models versus the 100 models of the Chaos Warriors. Yeah. So they will be doing, there's about 10 less of them. And they do have Uncontrollable Rage in this mod. So they are very hard to use, very hard to get on what you need to do. And you can see here, nice Pit of Shades coming down. Doing a decent amount of damage here. But you can see he's used his halberds. He knows he doesn't have enough to win this cav engagement, because he has spent almost double the money. So he's just pulling his halberds in and forming a little dowry box, trying to make sure that cav does not pay for itself. And you can see his cav is just waiting in the back for this cav to commit. You can see Kholek just in the middle, slamming some guys. But again, he's just going to do pretty bad in the forest. But the Chaos Lord is going to get hit as well just because he's on a horse. But the Chaos Lord is, of course, a lot cheaper. You can see here these Chaos Warhounds are going to come in. These Marauder Horsemen are going to get some nice throwing axes in here. But probably not enough damage to really force him out of the box. And you can see these guys are just going to have to try and break it as best they can. But they're not going to enjoy that fight at all. You can see, nice job peeling his Chaos Knights through the line, then getting a, wow, look at this, getting a nice side shard, breaking out of the box, and countercharging. Definitely good use of that cav, trapping them in that fight with the halberds. And you can see this in this middle ground. It's very hard to tell who's winning. Kholek has taken a decent amount of damage, but so has kind of this main line. You can see the Forsaken are losing pretty decisively. Occam's Mind Razor is buffing up this main line, which is going to give those Chaos Warriors a lot of damage. But they are being soul blighted as well, so some of that mitigated. Oh man. So it's very hard to tell what's going on here. You can see these trolls trying to find those Chaos Warriors with great weapons. Doing a good job. There's a lot of them on the field, so they'll definitely help spin that fight in the Forsaken's favor. And you can see just slowly those halberds are dealing with the cav. Chaos Warhounds came back. You can see these guys running away, these guys being brought back in. And now the halberds are kind of free to get engaged wherever they wish. And you can see he's kind of going on a little flanking action. Looks like a Lord of the Storm being dropped here in the forest. Doing some good damage. Doom and Darkness dropping. Let's see if he's able to actually crack any of this stuff. No, everything's at such high leadership that they're not going to crack. But you can see these Chaos Trolls routing. Oh man. This Chaos Troll is almost full health, so that's definitely going to help. And you can see that second unit of Chaos Knights Lances just came in here and decided to throw in on the main line. Probably the best option with this many halberds running around. You can see Kholek taking a lot of damage. This Chaos Lord, almost full health though, but a little far past his own lines at this point, so he's going to start taking a lot of damage, especially as these Chaos Knights with halberds coming in. These Trolls and this Chaos Sorcerer, you can see this guy trying to come back into the main fight to help Kholek try and double team that Lord. You can see this Lord of Shadows is being kind of harassed by these Marauder Horsemen. You can see these Trolls did come back, and Chaos Warriors with halberds. And man, that Chaos Lord is just getting beat down. Not really able to 1v1 Kholek like he could when he was a dragon, when he was mounted on a dragon. Oh man, look, these guys got terrified. What did they get terrified by? Huh. Fear. Maybe just fear hit them over the edge. And that's called terrified as well. But you can see Doom and Darkness being dropped, going to help push this Chaos Lord off the field with Terror, and kind of start a Terror route here. You can see Lord of the Storm is being dropped on this nice blob, putting some good damage down. But you can see even as their Lord is routing, a lot of the stuff is steady. These Chaos Trolls are eager. They're pulling through, trying to get at Kholek. But you can see these guys are slowly losing with the Halberds coming back, the Trolls. Chaos Knights with Lance is getting some rear charge. But this forest, I don't know if this forest is helping or hindering. But basically everybody's large units are fighting in the forest. So it's probably a toss-up. You can see Kholek here still in the middle, laying down the law. These Chaos Trolls went from eager to wavering very quickly, and they're now terrified off the field. You can see the balance bar shifting in Phillus's favor as he moves to finish off the rest of this stuff. So just very close game. Lots of different tactics you saw there. Lots of different armies. You saw both of the players have to adapt to the other's playstyle. And you can see this Chaos Lord is going to rout. Man, those Soul Blights just did a lot. It's like essentially poisoning their entire front line. But you can see here these Forsaken didn't do very well. But I think really Kholek just being able to take on his leader, not letting these Chaos Knights with Lances pay for themselves, letting this Chaos Knight with Lances get some nice rear charges on that on the right flank of Vegeta. Really shifted that in his favor. But great game from both of these guys. And thanks so much for watching that tournament cast. That is that.